Hello, everybody. It is Tito Capote, and we're back with another deck profile here. And today is one that I'm really excited for. Now, as you've probably seen on my channel, I don't tend to do a lot of meta decks, or to play a lot of meta decks. That's mainly because I just don't like their playstyle. I don't like how oppressive they usually are. I just think it's not fun, and it's like I really like playing games sort of against somebody, if that makes sense. And like this deck is sort of so we're doing Tearlaments today, and the reason why I picked up this deck is because even though it's really strong and really like really, what's it called, just it can be oppressive if you want it to be. Like if you summon wind at like during your opponent's turn, it's kind of lame, you know, but it's something that the deck can do. But what I like about the deck is that it's very skill intensive. Like, you have to know exactly what you're doing whenever you do it. Like, there's lots of small decisions you have to make with every hand, because of the random, not really random, it can be random, but if you build your deck a certain way, then it's not really as random, or if you play a certain way, it's not as random. But there's a lot of ways you can play this deck that make it a lot harder to play, and I really like that because, like I said, I like playing against somebody, and the fact that you can make so many mistakes in the deck just makes it even more fun for me. But anyway, that's besides the point. Right now, we're doing the quick deck profile, so I'm not going to explain most of the cards. I'm just going to show you the ratios, the card choices that I put in, and so let's get into it. So first I'm going to start with the extra deck. So this is one decision that I do want to address, the Abyss Dweller. So this is really good in the mirror because sometimes you do end up with 2 level 4s on the field, and it's just like, oh hey, I can make Abyss Dweller, and that completely kills Tearlaments. Unless they have the field spell, none of their monsters that they can summon without fusion spells can get over the Abyss Dweller, which is really cool. Also I'm playing this instead of like I'm not playing the Ultimate Slayer thing because I can't afford it, but I'm playing other going second options instead. I only have one Ultimate Slayer, and I like the deck's already 42 cards, so I don't want to put it too much, but I think the extra 2 cards are worth it. But that's just me. Anyway, so we're going with 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Kaleido Heart, because you can recycle this really easily. Even if it gets banished, there are some ways to get it back. 2 Kikalos, because I don't think this is the other deck that I really like in the deck. 2 Kikalos, because you don't really ever need more than 2. You can recycle it, and it's like if your games won't be going that long usually. You can OTK with this deck really easily. If you play it well. Then 1 Dark Claw. Dark Claw is insane in this deck, and you're gonna see why. I'm gonna then 1 Dark the Charmer Gloomy. 1 of this card. So I like this. I don't know how I feel about this card in the deck. Most of the time when you want to make this card, it's like you're already winning and you don't really need that extra draw. And you can just, I don't know, there's just better ways to play the deck, I think, but it's in here because I couldn't think of anything else. If it were up to me, I'd probably be playing instead of this and the Abyss Dweller, the Ultimate Slayer cards, but I only have 1 and I don't want to buy 2 more because they're expensive. Then 2 Predaplant Dracostepelia. The cool thing about this card is that it's not a hard once per turn, so if you have 2 on field, you can negate 2 things. Then 1 El Shaddai Window, just because it's so easy to make in this deck. 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict. I have the cards that you see me proxied, I have, but they're coming in the mail, and the guy, I ordered them, and he was like, oh, it's going to take a while longer because he was busy, and it was like rough. But I wanted to make the deck profile just so like, because the deck came out like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, might as well make it like pretty soon, you know. Then we have 1 Zeus, and then the Xyz cards. So the Totally Awesome you can make with 2 Rhino Heart. You can make the Bahamut with 2 Rhino Heart and then go for Totally Awesome if you just have extra materials on board, or if you play the deck in a way where you want to get the Totally Awesome. But Time Thief Redoer, I do want to address this card as well. Just in case you don't want to go through the long video and you still want to know why the hell this card's in here. So this is one of the few cards that detaches monsters for effect. So it's not cost to detach the monsters. It detaches the monsters as an effect. So if they effect value you, you don't detach the monsters. And because of that, it triggers the Tearlaments card. So if your opponent stops everything you do and like whatever, and you already used all your effects and whatever, and you have 2 level 4s on the field, you overlay this, and then on their turn you activate it to like banish it and whatever, and then you get your Tearlaments triggers, you get your fusion summons, which is just really cool, and I think it's really good in the deck. Then let's go into the main deck. So 3 Tearlaments. I don't know how to say these cards, so I'm gonna try my best. But Shiren, I don't know, Shiren. She special summons herself by what's it called? Discarding another monster from your hand. Tearlaments Merly, she foolishes 3 from the top, so she mills 3 from the top to when she is normal or special summoned, and I'm going to go over that. And 3 Habness. So when a monster effect on the when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can special summon her and then mill 3. So all of those cards also have the effect to fusion summon when they are sent to the graveyard by any means. So it's just sent to the graveyard, which is crazy. But anyway, then we have 3 Rhino Heart. This is going to be your... I wouldn't say main starter, but if you have no other Tearlaments, or if you only have a way to get 1 Tearlament into your hand, I think Rhino Heart is the best way to do that, because or best way to start your plays, just because well, I guess I am doing a little bit of discussion, but he's the best way to, I don't know if it's he or she, but they're the best way to start your plays, because it's a guaranteed fusion summon, and you can do like combos with the then 2 King of the Swamp. This is really good to summon your Winda, and also what is it, Kaleido Heart, and other cards like the Millennium Eyes if you want to start your plays like that. Then 2 Shadal cards, the Shadal Beast and Shadal Squamata, because it's Squamata sends Beast and Beast draws you a card. 2 DD Crow, again, my friend borrowed my DD Crows, so I don't have a playset anymore. I only have the 1 because I had 1 extra. But 2 DD Crow and 2 Bell I think is better than 3 DD Crow or 3 DD Crow and 3 Bell, because again, this is already a 42 card deck. But I like Bell a lot. If I were to choose in this deck in particular, if I were to choose any hand trap, it would be Bell, and that is DD Crow. I think is better in the format, but I think Bell is better in this deck because it works against Called By and it works against DD Crow. So if your opponent tries to DD Crow your card or Called By your card, you can Ghost Bell and then negate that. So then your effects go off and you don't need to worry about that. Then 3 of the field spell, again, missing 1. But the field spell is insane. It searches you a card, and then when once per turn, if you, I think, shuffle a card back into the deck, you get to pop a card on the field, so that triggers your Tearlaments effects, and also just is removal. Then 1 terraforming to find the field spell, 1 reinforcing the army to find Rhino Heart, 1 Called By the Grave to stop your opponent's plays and to keep yours going, 2 Poly, because Poly is actually really good in this deck. You can search it with King of the Swamp, and then just if they stop all your plays, like, you're just go, I'm gonna Poly anyway. But yeah, the Poly is really good. Then 1 Foolish Burial, because it starts all of your plays and gets the Shadals into the graveyard if you need them for Winda. This card is insane. So the reason I play this and the Dark Law is because 1, Dark Law kills most of the format, and also because this card actually triggers all your Tearlaments effects. It sends to graveyard as an effect. And it does discard for, I don't know if I'm not actually sure if it discards for cost. It does discard for cost. So it discards for cost, but the monster on the field that it uses as material, like as a fusion summon, like as if it were polymerization. And the cool thing about that is that the Kick Kalos in the extra deck is level 5 and Darklaw is level 6. So you can summon Darklaw off Kick Kalos and get the mill 5 and then keep your plays going that way. Then 1 instant fusion, because instant fusion gets Millennium Eyes, it gets Winda, it gets whatever, just in case you want to like do whatever, like do a bunch of stuff, and it gets Kick Kalos because it's a level 5. So it's a play starter as well as insulation. Then I really think that board breakers are going to be the best way to go in this format. So 3 Dark Ruler and 1 Change of Heart. I don't really like Droplets in this deck. I'd rather Dark Ruler because Droplets discards for cost. And you don't really want to be discarding for cost in this deck. You want to be discarding for effect, which is all the other cards. And I think if you don't OTK your opponent, you can still clear their board really easily and get them to a position where it's really hard to come back from. Then we're playing 2 Metal Noise and 1 Crime. I think that's what Meta Noise. You might say, oh, but the Omni Negate is insane, and you're right. The Omni Negate is insane, but it requires a lot of materials. It requires a Tearlaments card on the field and a monster in hand to be able to use it. So most of the time, you're not going to be able to use it. It comes up sometimes, which is why I'm playing at 1. But the Meta Noise, I think, comes up a lot more because it's a play starter. It foolishes from deck, and then this is another thing. So this is the Ultimate Slayer I have. I am playing it because it's fun, but the Appointer of the Red Lotus, I think, it's the reason the deck is 42 cards and not 40. I think it's really important in this format to be able to stop the board breakers, because most of the time, if your opponent doesn't have a Dark Ruler, if they don't have a Triple Tactics, if they don't have that card to help them get back into the game to try to just clear your board, they're not going to have many plays just because of how oppressive the boards can get. So, having the Appointer of the Red Lotus is great, because if you're going first, then you get rid of the Dark Ruler in their hand and then just stop them from playing. But also, if you're going second, most of the time your opponent is going to have an in-hand Dark Ruler that they don't use turn 1, that they're going to use turn 3 to try to get back into the game. Or they're going to be left without play starters once you clear the board. And if you have the Pointer of the Red Lotus on turn 3, you can get rid of that from their hand, and then they just don't have anything to do, and you can go off on turn 4. So yeah, that's the deck. I hope you guys... please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think it's pretty okay. I've been doing really well with it online and at locals and stuff. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Any opinions, anything you might do differently. If you let me know what you think of Pointer, because like I give you my my perspective, but like you might think differently. But yeah, just let me know, and hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, maybe subscribe. And if you want, ring the notification bell for more videos. I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a great day.